Hey gang, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna do a surprise video. Kuromi plus special made earrings that my best friend did. This is the makeup inspired by it. So grab your brushes, grab your makeup, and meet me in the bathroom. Okay gang, so welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. That's enough of that. Okay, today I am going to be doing something a little different. How was your weekend, by the way? Did you have a good weekend? Did you have a good week? Are you ready for this weekend coming up? I am going to surprise my best friend Sugar Cookie and actually do makeup inspired by these earrings she made me. So I'm gonna tell you about that story as I start, but it's gonna be more of just like a makeup tutorial than an actual like face paint. But I hope you enjoy it anyway. So let me get my stuff together because I brought it with me, but you know. So oh yes, as well, today's anime review is gonna be about Castlevania. So hold on to your seats because I got some things to say. Okay, but for starters, my best friend, her name, we call her Sugar Cookie. Because I never really want to put her name on screen. Like, I don't know how she feels about it. I don't want to, you know, like infringe on her privacy. And not only that, I talked about it before, we both have a podcast together. So if you would like to hear me address her by her name, you could go there. But that's my Sugar Cookie. I don't know why I'm so secretive about that. That sounds funny, right? Like, you're going to tell us anyway? Well, element of surprise, dang it. But she and I have been friends. We're coming up on 9 years. We're in our 9th year. It'll be officially 9 years like August or something like that, because that's when we started or when I started college with them, and it was like love at first sight. Nah, for real, like she's just my friend. I don't want y'all being like, oh, but no, she was a very sweet person to lean on in college. Honestly, she has helped shape my life. Cause I oftentimes get hot-headed and very, very emotional. And she is kind of like the balance that calms me down. And, you know, she just helps me get it together. Anywho, she's my first, I want to say like true best friend. I thought I had a lot of best friends in school, but they really weren't. And for me and her to be able to get it together this long into the picture, that's my squad right there, you know. Like, nobody better ever come to me about her, because I'm not gonna take your side and be like, well, what did you do to her? What did you do to her? So anywho, she made me these earrings. She designed stuff. I will put her link in the description so you could go check out her Instagram and hopefully her website too, if she's giving it to me. I think I could just go on her page and get it. Anywho, it'll be linked. But she made these earrings for me about kind of like a year ago. I told her I wanted to do this cosplay or look, which I guess I'm gonna incorporate in this because that's what it was for. But it's for Kuromi, the Hello Kitty, like the dark version of her or whatever. But so I wanted to do an aesthetic based off of that. And back then, like, I wanted the hat and the collar, and maybe one day I'll still do it. But I was like, well, why not just do a makeup inspired look, since I have the colors for the earrings. I, you know, have everything I need. So she doesn't even know I'm doing this by me posting this. It's gonna be a total surprise for her. And I want to keep it that way because I just want to, support her. That's bestie right there. And I mean, it's also in honor of her birthday. Her birthday is next Friday on the 24th. And I was thinking, like, what can I do for her? Like a special gift. Because she's done so much for me. So I just want to help her in any way that I can, And she, outside of my mom, and my dad, like my immediate family, she has been my main support. She has gotten me through a lot of nights where I cried, a lot of nights I had to revent to her about some things. And so this is for you, Sugar Cookie. Happy birthday, part 1. Yeah, so let's get into the anime reviews, because this makeup doesn't always take me long. Makeup doesn't always take me long, but we're gonna see how it goes. But so yes, the anime I want to talk about for today is Castlevania. Castlevania came out on Netflix, and I don't think I'm gonna need these because I have. So Castlevania came out on Netflix, I think like 2 years ago. But it was a game. It was a game that I want to play because I'm quite intrigued about it. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to see. Should I? All right. I have this contour brush, but I'm sitting here like, I have gotten lighter since I got this in the summertime. So I don't. Here, we can try a little bit of it. Anywho, back to Castlevania. So this is the premise of Castlevania. And let me just say, y'all, I love anime. What I don't love is the men. Let me reiterate. I don't like the fact that I'm over here fawning for somebody who ain't gonna ever be real. Okay, it just breaks my heart, but I keep going back to it anyway. I love watching anime, and it's a blessing and a curse. Because let me tell you, baby, I get a little angsty with these characters. But back to Castlevania. If you're wondering, I'm just trying to see how this is going to look. I don't want to do a lot because I don't want to. Maybe somebody out there knows how to contour brushes. I'm still learning, like the palettes and stuff, but typically I put it right here. Anywho, so Castlevania, Dracula meets this human. She bold. Baby girl is like bold, because I would never. But he meets this human, and like it already starts off rough. Okay, let me just say that it starts off very rough, and I was just sitting here like, I was not prepared for all this trouble. But this lady meets Dracula, and she's basically like, I want to learn science. I want to learn all you have to show me in the name of science. I mean, bold lady. She even walked. This man, y'all, had people on stakes, like a barbecue. He had them looking like it was a barbecue outside of his house, and I'm just sitting here like, you really do not care much about human life, do you? I did not do what I think I did. So he had stakes outside of his house, right? And she's just like, wicked, I can deal with this. I'd have been like, absolutely not. Like, I'm going back home. I don't even know why I thought this was a good idea, a good premise. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking. Like, I just do not. But homegirl, she gets it together, and she goes up in there or whatever, and she's like, I want to learn your magic. And Dracula, not magic, science. And this fool, she's like, you're not a proper man because you didn't do this and that. And he's like, well, how about I be proper and like, bend you over? How about I, take a drink from you? Just off the wall stuff like, why are you like this? So anywho, she manages to win his heart over, and they get married. Like, this human, she's in love with Dracula, right? So she convinces him that he needs to go on these trips and see the world and basically like trust humans more, you know, because humans are not bad creatures at all, you know. And so this anime is set back in the olden days where like the witch trials and stuff was going on, that rough era. So anywho, he goes on this trip, and as he's coming back home, it cuts, and she is being burnt alive at the stake. So basically, these priests are blaming her for witchcraft because she's into science. And I'm just like, it's sad how like unfar from the truth this stuff is. Because back then, if you even breathed, you were a witch. Like, you just had no rights. So she gets killed, and her son, which I did not get the memo of for many seasons. Also, if you didn't know that this is going to be a spoiler, I am so sorry, but please go watch it anyway. It's a nice anime. Shay, future Shay, while you're editing this, put in a filler for spoilers so that people know you're going to be talking, okay? Okay. All right. So, her son watches them do what they did to his mother, right? And she's sitting out there and she's like, don't let this harden your heart. Like, they don't know what they're doing. It's kind of like when Jesus was on the cross and he was like, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. She was having one of those moments. So, they killed her. Then Dracula found out. Then Dracula went to where they were, like, holding it. And once he found that, he was like, I'm gonna give you a year. I'm gonna give you a year to get it right, to like make peace with your guy, like with yourself. I'm gonna give you a year to turn this thing around. So in a year, it didn't go how it was gonna go, you know. The people were holding like this annual event, and they were talking about how like, oh, Dracula was trying to be scary and da-da-da, you know, just going off, because humans just, you know, they don't know when to quit. So Dracula like comes down, rains down fire and brimstone, and just annihilates everybody in the Congress. And I'm trying to choose my words careful because I don't want to get demonetized, but he took him out. It was done for. So the son is, we don't know who he is at first. Somebody comes and confronts Dracula, and they're like, I'm not gonna let you do what you want to do. They get mollywopped. So it ends up happening. So then there's another character we're introduced to, Trevor Belmont. Now y'all, when I saw this man, I loved him instantly, but I was like, you got some skeletons in your closet, and you a hoe. Like, it's Miroku all over again, just in a different form. So anywho, let me get it on because I am getting sidetracked with this. So Belmont is having a drink and trying to like fit in with society. And basically they want to fight him because he's from this family, he's from this noble family or whatever, and they're trying to give him the business about his family. So after this goes down, he goes into this town like where they're dealing with Dracula and all that jazz. And he ends up meeting these speakers. Now, apparently the speakers are like mages, witches, I don't really know if I want to call them magicians. I want to get everything in a politically correct state, but they're magicians and they go against God. And let me just pause and say here, this anime was very stressful to like love and watch because I'm a Christian. So at first I was just like, oh, they're talking about God and like just losing my mind. But the Lord was like, calm down. Calm down. I love this anime. Let me just say that, okay? Like, I was rewatching it again about 2 days ago, and I just finished it last week. Anyways, so these speakers, they're trying to help these people fight off these, you know, demons or whatever. Like, they know that the end of the world is taking over, and Dracula is pretty much not pleased with them. And but they are also getting persecuted by the high priest because of what they do. And which, that makes me mad in general, because like, I think what really makes me mad is the truth about it all. You know, like, religious people have condemned people for no reason a lot of the times in the name of like God the Father, and it's not even them they're doing it for. That is a whole other story. But anyways, so Belmont happens to make his way through this town, and he helps these seekers find their son, which was actually a girl. And so they tell him like, oh, we're gonna kill them, so you might want to get out of town. Like, we're not gonna kill you, we're gonna let you go, because he mollywopped some of their team, but they were like, we're gonna let you go this one time, but them, you can't save them. So Belmont is like, I am not going anywhere. So he starts to work with these speakers and, you know, just killing off people and stuff like that, wrecking house. Him and I think her name is Silfa, something like that. I'll put her name in here because I'm gonna say it wrong. But anyways, they end up becoming a team. Like, she goes with him. They end up meeting Alucard, who is the son, who my best friend told me I was gonna fall in love with this man, but he hit me like a train freight. Like, it was bad. I've never wanted to be bitten so bad since the Twilight edition, okay? But so he met them and basically was like, I'm gonna help you. Like, I'm gonna help you if you'll kill my dad. Like, that's what we're gonna do. So while all this is going on and the preparation for this is happening, Dracula has people over his house, and like, he is getting them together with people. He has vampires at his house who are ready for the feast of the humans. And he even has 2 humans in his squad. And that makes me kind of like, okay, so the problem with this is you're trying to annihilate people, and you know that these people are going to help your cause. So you're okay with these people, but you're not okay with the other people that you want to take out. And not all of them did to you what the priest did. Anywho, band of vampires start coming. One of them is named Camilla. She comes in late. Carmilla. And I'm like, she's trouble. I caught it from the moment I saw this blonde-headed vampire. So she basically gets Isaac, this weak, I'm gonna give him a lot of energy. This weak man, she gets him to turn on Dracula. Now, what I really love about this anime too is there is a black guy in there named Isaac. And y'all, it has been a struggle finding like anime that really loves on black characters, you know, and like has them as main characters. Because even in Naruto, the clan, like being them, they weren't really like major characters until like Shippuden. I hope I said that right, because we're gonna do that one too, friends. But so they're basically both warned. It's like good versus evil. Isaac ends up getting switched. He ends up taking up for Camilla, and like when Alucard and Belmont and I'm gonna call her Sylvie is wrecking shop with Dracula, Isaac and Carmilla then flee. So not Isaac. Hector, his name was Hector. Hector flees with Carmilla. Isaac is out for blood now. He's like, I will find you and kill you. So Isaac gets on this revenge train. Now Carmilla goes back to her home. She has these 3 other friends who are sisters. 2 of them are together. One of them I thought was a man. I was like, hey, but then I was like, oh, hey! Like, you shocked me. So they were together, and Carmilla is wanting to take over the world. She wants a whole empire for the female vampires, which, I mean, I get it. Like, you know, solidarity in the females. You know what I'm saying? So she works on setting up this master plan. And I kind of figured that it wasn't going to go how she wanted it to go, because there was division among her own house. Like, they could not even get it together and like be on her side. And I'm just like, Camilla, you might want to rethink your game plan. So she's beating Hector up, right? She's beating him up. He has no rights here. Puts him in jail. And then her sister, the redhead, is her name Victoria? I am giving these characters probably the wrong names, but roll with me now. I looked it up because that was going to bother me. So her name is Lenore. Stringer Striga, she's the one I was just like, you radiate some energy, so I don't want them giving you camera time because you are cursed. But so they are going against it like amongst themselves about how Carmilla is kind of like lost her mind. And so Lenore's like, let me deal with the human, like, I'll get him right, which she does. And I'm just like, Hector, you never learn. So Isaac is out here getting stronger, like chasing people down, just befriending demons. He's doing it all, okay? Like he is in the underworld deep. And the Belmonts and Alcord, well, so when Alcord defeats his dad, they leave. And so Trevor gives his part of his like home legacy to the son Alucard, so that he could add it to the house. So these strange people are coming up now, trying to befriend this guy, this blonde-headed cutie. And basically they try to kill him, like poor baby, like they use him. And which I was feeling a little upset because the stage was set, the scene was making a movie, and then they just went down that road. Also, I will warn, this anime is very much not PG-13. It's like TVMA, so like you might want to watch it by yourself or at least at nighttime where like others aren't around because questionable things happen. But anywho, back to my makeup because I keep stalling. What were we talking? Oh yes, so Sylvie and Trevor are out here helping everybody, even if that's not her name. I'm gonna just stick with it. They're out here helping the lands, help heal the lands, which fine, heal the lands, you know, help the people, do all that jazz. What made me a little bit mad about them is when trouble started to arise, the Sylvie, she's like, how do we go wrong? Like, what happened? And I'm sitting here thinking, you keep trying to take on everybody else's problems but your own, and you're wondering like how this got so bad. And that resonates with me because I'm like that sometimes. I want to help everybody. I'm pretty sure in the anime I would want to be that character that saved everybody. But this judge they end up helping out was apparently killing off kids, which that made me mad too, because how dare you, dude. That's why the town couldn't grow and things couldn't happen, because he out here killing the kids. I mean, the people getting older, getting mollywopped by the demons, so this man is just not making life any better. Anywho, they end up finding out that there's something much bigger going on here. There's something much bigger than Dracula going on. Pretty much, there's something trying to revive Dracula, because some vampires are trying to revive him because he promised us he was going to kill off all these humans. Carmilla and them are over here like, we're going to control the humans and create a blood fest. Like, everybody's going to mate and die for us. And then other people are like, Dracula has to come back because he's the one true, like, hero, da da da. And I'm sitting here like, why don't y'all just let Dracula, like, did y'all ever ask him if he wanted to come back? Like, they put his wife in hell, said he was with the wife, and I'm like, well, surely even there, he wouldn't want to be brought back, you know? But anywho, people are people. So there's another magician. I forget his name, but it's the great, he's the great something. His story broke my heart. Basically, him and his wife was time traveling, this lady he met. And he's trying to get back to her. And when he does end up finding her, she gives him his stone. And I'm just like, you wanted to be loved, didn't you? So, anywho, he's trying to help them to get Dracula back. It's just a mess. It's chaotic. Everything is everywhere, literally, in this anime. So, Lenore and Hector, they end up, like, she ends up getting him to forge a bond with her. She got it through some very tricky means, but she got what she wanted in the end. And so now he's bound to all of them. They're bound to her. She gives rings to her sister so that way, because he's a forge master. Hector and Isaac are forge masters, so they can make things. They can make things. They want to make an army to take over like the world. So he's like, okay, you know, for you, yeah. So she gets him to consent. He didn't know, but he knew afterwards that he was consented. But so after that, he starts hiding things around the castle, and I'm just like, what are you up to? Because it's a little sneaky, friends. So after this happens, or while this is going on, Isaac ends up defeating like all these great wizards and stuff. You know, like everybody's kind of forging their paths and alliances and things like that. And then it's like the big battle is coming, okay? Strong vampires are coming out the woodworks, out of literally nowhere, fighting with everybody. And then in the midst of all of this, the great Countess Magician guy ends up getting into Alcurd's house. Now, while this is going on, I will say he meets this woman, Alcurd does, and she is like a woman, right? She's a fighter, y'all. She's amazing, and she's dark skinned. And I was just like, finally, some love. But they're going through the woods. They get knocked off pretty bad. But Alcurd, he has nice fighting scenes. The graphics in this thing are just pretty. The fight scenes are beautiful. Get them back to his house. They find out what's going on. They're like, the apocalypse is coming. Like, there's these people who write these symbols and stuff, like this cult group, and they put it in the house, all that jazz. So the great magician guy, whenever he's going through this, he realizes he meets somebody who he did not know was the oh man, what is she? She's an alchemist. She could shapeshift and all that jazz, but she tricked him into like resurrecting Dracula, and they were gonna put him and his wife in this mummified person to like wreak havoc on the human land. And why, may you ask, did they want to do that? Because the person who was doing all this was death itself, and death just wanted to feast on like despair and lives and all that jazz. And so it looks like it's the end for Alcurd. He's in this big fight scene. Then here comes Zilphi and here comes Belmont, and they're like all together. And y'all, let me just say, I don't know how they were jumping through portals and stuff, but I had so much stress watching this anime. I really did. I did not know who was gonna make it out alive. Everybody was scaring me. It did not look good for a lot of people. I just was on the edge of my seat. And then the crazy part is, this anime was only, there was 4 seasons, but like 10 episodes per season. So it wasn't a long anime per se, but it was long. You know, like, I feel like we need more conclusions and things for a lot of things that I want to know about that I'm not satisfied about. I didn't get the answers I feel like I wanted. So anyway, back to this fight scene. They're fighting, and then the mummy thingy is born, and it is just not looking good for the people. And they get them back from the underworld, and Dracula's like, I really don't know what's going on. I don't know how I even got here. Like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, my love, I can't stop this. And she's like, are we alive or are we dead? And the mummy is half woman, half man. It was just a triggering encounter for us all. Me as the viewer, because I had to experience it. But so Dracula and his wife ends up in this creature. And so Belmont is literally fighting death itself so that he can free these poor people. So he ends up freeing them. He ends up okay, so let me just pause right here, because I want to take my time on this part, because y'all, this part broke my heart. I remember when I first saw the scene, I was telling my friend, I was like, you lied to me. You didn't tell me like this was gonna happen. You led me to believe things were gonna be great, and they are not great right now. Oh my God, I messed this up. And so she's like, what do you mean? Like, what part are you talking about, buddy? And I'm like, you know what part I'm talking about? Like, he's about to die and da da da. And I am just losing it, because basically he runs and he jumps at this thing, And he's pretty much like, I love you, and Trevor's a horrible baby name. So I'm like, oh, she's pregnant. Like, I mean, we knew they weren't together, but they're together. So he goes, he defeats it, and he's gone. And I'm just sitting here like, my heart is in my throat. I'm sobbing all over the place. I am crying literally everywhere. So Alcarad is telling her, like, you can stay here. You don't have to leave. And she's like, no, like, I need to go. I need to be with people who know how to deal with the baby. Like, I need to be with my own people right now. I need to grieve, which, okay, like, I get it. You know, you were sad, you lost him. You need to grieve, but I wanted her with them too, cuz she just seems like she belongs with Akra, you know, like, as a family, cuz he has baby love over here. But anyways, so they convince her to stay for the sake of Trevor. Then this person is on the horse walking up to them, and the world is in shock. Like, who is these people? Or at least I was in shock. It is Trevor. He is on the horse, and he is alive, y'all. Alive, I say. Alive. Y'all, I cried many tears. I was like, you didn't lie to me, bestie. You did not lie. You were telling the truth. You were telling nothing but the truth. Y'all, it was emotional. That was such an emotional episode. I don't think I've ever watched something that emotional, but I probably have. Anime takes a toll on me sometimes, and I'm just gonna admit it. Sometimes it really, really does kick my butt. So he is saved. He told them that the Count General gave him like this stone or something like that to like help him get back. I don't know, something like that. And he was able to use it in the last minute. My heart was through the roof because I did not want that to end like that. I was gonna write editors and be like, now look, you don't know me, all right, and you'll probably never read this, but I gotta get some things off my chest, because that's just how I feel, y'all. I was very upset about that ending. But so he saved, the world is restored, and yeah, that's how it ends. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. It was a good anime. Like I said, it was really good. I really loved it. So I would recommend that you watch it. It is called Castlevania. Oh, let me tell y'all about these. So Carmilla gets taken out by Isaac. He's like, I am not having you. You don't get rights. And I was telling my friend, Carmilla, I do not like her. Okay, like, I understand her pain, but you can't be like that. You know, because your plan was no better than Dracula's. And how dare you come up in here trying to tell anybody how to do their job when you acting like them. Anywho, she has some beautiful fight styles, all right? Like, when her fight scene was going on, I was just like, oh. But what I did not like was that she got to off herself, because you didn't give nobody else that chance. You don't deserve that right to do that. And then Lenore, she wanted to leave Hector. Now, after she done bound this man up and had him just shackled, she was like, I don't want to live this life. I don't want to be bound as a human anymore. And I don't want to do this. And this is not a life for me to live. And I'm sorry I can't be where you need. And I'm like, you abuse this man. And you play him for a fool worse than Carmilla. Because at least Carmilla started like beating him. Well. Carmilla never seduced the guy and like made him believe he stood a chance. But homegirl was over here making him believe she was in love, and she was not. And that's just, to me, that's one of the cruelest things you can do to a person is, you know, fake the front like you love them when you're just trying to get something from them. It's not pretty. It's not nice. And so for her to just be like, I'm going to stand in the sun. Hector was much better than me, because I'd have been like, you do not get to leave me. Like, nah, you want to be a prisoner so bad? You want to, when he put her in that cage, I was like, you have redeemed yourself. you earned some points. And honestly, I think one of my favorite scenes out of the whole anime is when Isaac and Hector reunited, and like Hector was loyal to Isaac, and at the end they sat and talked, and Isaac was like, we have to find our own paths. Like, we were both abused, we were both taken advantage of, people thought wrong of us, but now we have the power to change, and like, I want to live. And I was just like, that's my baby's father. But so I really enjoyed that scene because it shows like character growth. Like, he really grew up. He was really taking control and like, no, I'm not going to be a part of this no more. I loved everything about that energy. And so, hold on guys. Who else was it? It was Isaac. And I think that was it. That was the conclusions. Now, like I say, there is a game out. And the games were out first. I did not know the games were out. And so there's, I think, like a possible spinoff coming from this, which I'd be down to see. Because in one version, Alcrad, he's a human. And he is like protecting his dad some kind of way, something like that. But yeah, so I'm kind of intrigued. Oh, and then at the end, the wife and Dracula, they do escape, and they end up seeing a world together. They were at the end, and the wife wanted to go tell the son what happened, but Dracula was like, maybe we'll give him some space for right now, because he's had a real life. He needs a moment to heal. So it ended on a really, really good note, guys. Like, I was happy about how it ended, how the stories wrapped up. I felt like they did a good job in closing chapters, but it was just so short. I wanted more. So yes, Castlevania, a definite 10. 20 out of 10 if I could. You should go watch it. Tell me what you think, because I would love to hear feedback on it myself. But I really loved it. Alright guys, now I am pretty sure I rambled a lot more on this video. So what I'm going to do here is probably speed out and cut and show you my hair and look. Gang, this is my Kuromi inspired look featuring the earrings that my best friend did for me. Hello. So these are the earrings she did for me. Hence why I went with the color palette. Boom. I changed the lipstick because I was like, just if I was gonna go out and wear a look, this would be the look. See if I can. Yeah, that type of energy. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave me a like, please comment, please subscribe, please hit the bell for more notifications if you would like to see what I post. Let me know what you think about Castlevania. You should watch it. It's a really great anime and I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed, and it picks up slowly. It starts off in a lot of action, but the story kind of is slow, but I promise by the end of it, you're going to be like, chef's kiss, let me eat it. But thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. And until next Friday, I've been your rambling host, Shay Chan. Goodbye.